Hi, hello, welcome to Everyday Ordinary, Extraordinary Women. I'm Martina and I'm here with Christina, and we are your podcast hosts. And we are deep divers and avid students of life, and we're also powerful facilitators for healing. In real life, I'm a coach specializing in parent and women empowerment, and I'm also a sound healer.
And I'm Christina. I'm an intuitive healer who loves to blend massage therapy with energy work to provide customized services for my clients. We both love to incorporate crystals, essential oils, angelic Reiki, and intuitive guidance into all of our work.
Now, we were inspired to create this podcast after pondering on this question. What would the world look like where we can be inspired by every person? And usually we are so quick to compare and judge ourselves and others. And when we do that, everybody is losing. Like everybody's losing. And depending on my point of view, I can either feel small because I come out lacking, or arrogant and dismissive because I feel superior. And those are the only two options. And neither of those options make us feel good. So here's our thought. Someone's everyday normal is someone else's extraordinary. Judgment comes from first impressions, and we invite you, the listener, to go beyond first impressions and see the magic everywhere. There is inspiration at every corner, in everyone, if we're willing to look. And so today we're here with Lisa. Welcome, Lisa. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, thank you so much, Martina and Christine. I feel honored to be asked to be a part of this podcast. In looking at the title, Everyday, Ordinary, Extraordinary Women, I'm just going to jump right into a story about when I was about 8. I used to stand in front of the mirror in the bathroom with my toothbrush singing as loudly as I could because I wanted to be on the Ed Sullivan Show. And then, fast forward, I was never on the Ed Sullivan Show. 30, and I've taken so many healing classes and did a deep dive into my soul to discover all of me. I started a business called All That You Are because I was able to go through this process of recognizing my fears and my angers, and boy, was I angry, and all that to get to my true essence and stripped off the ego. But somewhere along the line, I can remember having this dream of getting on the Oprah show. She doesn't even have the show anymore, by being ordinary. Isn't that interesting? Like I just I just was thinking, I'll just get on and I'll just be me. Like, and let people know it's safe to just be you, right? We have these labels of, I get, and now I'm going to shift like into the spiritual piece of this, that we come in and we have labels. My name, Lisa Venn. Mom, I'm a mom of 3. Uncle, aunt, just whatever, right? And we have expectations along with those labels that we're given. So sometimes, like when I used to have clients in my business, All That You Are, which I'm not doing that right now. And people would have really like a difficult time with their mom because of the expectations they had of the mom. And I just tried to shift the perspective a little bit about looking at them as just a human being and not the mom, right? And all that baggage that mom brought in, and this individual was feeling, picture it as a luggage. And I literally would say, okay, you got that? Their baggage is right here. And I would hold up like an imaginary piece of luggage. And I'd say, let's just put it down. And then how does that feel? And it's really like, whew, yeah, that wasn't mine to begin with. And I learned that along the way for me, and it was so powerful. So to say who I am, I'm an ordinary spirit on this planet. We all do extraordinary things at times. I think to just go into honoring each and every person, the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Is it always easy? Do I have a halo glowing over my head right now? Hell no. But the more we practice that, the more we get into that space of, ooh, all right, that guy just cut me off. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to breathe and know that I've probably cut somebody off and it's okay, and not to make a story out of it. So yeah, I'll just go a little bit further about me. I live in Naples, Florida, and I was going to say the word victim, but I'm not going to say that. I lost my condo in the flood of Hurricane Milton. This is actually the second time it's happened to me, where Hurricane Ian hit 4 feet of water in my condo. So I was displaced. So with that, I lived in a hotel for 6 weeks. My brother was also dealing with an aggressive form of leukemia. And I was in my condo for 3 nights. And then I had to fly up to Connecticut where he was because we knew it was imminent. He wasn't going to live much longer. So I just got back to Naples after his services. And I debated not doing this. I told Martina and Christina, I debated not doing this podcast because of the grief. But I thought, this is who I am. And we all go through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I guess I'm getting strength lifted up probably from my brother Joe and these beautiful women here. And anybody who's listening, I feel it. I feel the strength, because I would say to my brother, hey, Joe, ain't none of us getting out alive. You're just getting there a little bit before us. That's all. And it'll be a blink before I see you. So that's where I'm at today.
Thank you so much for being here. It's like, yes, life is ups and downs and in betweens, right? And I'm so sorry for your loss again, right? And
Yeah.
so grateful for you to be here and to choose to show yourself in this way. It takes a very big person. So thank you for doing that. And you might not be able to hear this right now, but it does take a big person. Like, it's a choice that we make, how we show up. And you were talking about leaving, I don't know how you say it. What I heard is like leaving a place better than what you found it. It wasn't that what you said, but that's, like that's kind of my interpretation from it. So thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your heart. Now, Lisa, if we really knew you, what would we know?
Well, I hope so far in what I've said is that I am the real deal. I don't pull punches. I try to be as honest as I can. I am very emotional. I'm an intuitive and an empath, so I feel stuff. I've had to learn how to just like put up, whether it be a concrete wall or a beautiful ivy net in front of me to protect me sometimes from stuff that may not serve me, but also for myself to protect my heart. I love, I love truly. I love deeply. I love our planet. A lot of the work that I'm doing with a business that I now have and my business partners has a lot to do with helping Mother Earth and preserving our precious planet in very different, in really different ways, not only through energy work of energy healing, but also energy work with energy efficiency and finding products that would go into schools and municipalities and homes that help preserve energy, right? And make use of the heat that we use and the air conditioning that we use and the water we drink, and all that is so, so important to me too. And also just being there for people, like people have been for me over these past few weeks. And the power that I feel right now is just amazing. I really do. I feel it. So I think that's really me.
Awesome. Lisa, I will move us into our icebreaker silly question. So tell us a funny, silly, or embarrassing story about yourself.
Just I've thought about that, and I'm sure there's a boatload. The first thing that came up, which is really like, so I almost thought, what should I even bring this up? But the first thing that came to my mind was when I was 5 years old, I was in church and I burped so loudly that it echoed through the entire church. And my aunt wanted to die and crawl under the pew. I don't know. That was like the only thing that came into my head. And Lordy knows, I'm sure I've got lots of embarrassing moments. And
I love that one. That's actually a really good one. It has stuck with you all your life. So
And
that
you're
in and
still
of
thinking
itself.
about it, right?
But this is a great one because no one has ever brought up a story like this as their funny, silly, but it happens to all of us. Bodily stuff happens and it's embarrassing to all of us. But it's like, how do you deal with the embarrassment, right? Like, do you want to crawl under your pew? Do you
yeah,
just
but at 5, so I'm 65. So we're talking 60 years ago. I remember I wasn't embarrassed for me. I was embarrassed because my aunt was embarrassed.
yeah, I love this.
I was like, something went wrong here, but I remember the echoing of her. So
But
yeah,
it's so great, right? Because you could just be like, wow, that was a great burp. Listen to the reverberations in this place. Or you could be embarrassed by it, right? And cool, as a little kid, you're not embarrassed. This is just what happens. But then you
yeah,
see the reaction of the people around you, and it's like,
yeah,
oh.
right? Maybe I should be, maybe this wasn't good. Maybe I never burped again in public. Oh, Lord.
Well, it's amazing because it's really, that's how we got shaped, right? It's like something happened. We didn't think anything about it, and then the people around us react. But as Christina said, it's just bodily functions, right? It's all that stuff that happens to every person, and we're still so embarrassed about it, which is, it's just so silly, right?
We're all human, we all do it, and yet we
Yeah,
still think we need to like hide it. It's funny.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
No. And that's just the burp. We could talk about other things too, but everybody's like, ooh, what? Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. It's like, dude, this
Yeah,
is bizarre, Anyway,
yeah.
Yeah.
so that's one embarrassing story. If I think of another one, I'll let you know.
It's a great one. It's a great one. So what made you who you are today? For example, what was your biggest lesson, or what took most courage, or when did you stand up that for something that mattered to you? So
Mm.
what shaped you?
So recognizing now that I came into this life with a knowing, but I grew up in a very Catholic home. So I was automatically in this box, and my thoughts and my knowing was so much bigger than that box, right? So I can remember being like 8 or 9 and saying, Dad, what about the people in Africa? They don't know about Jesus Christ. What's going to happen to them? I don't get it. God loves everybody. How can they not be saved? And that, like, honestly, here we go again. I was 8 or 9, and I remember that feeling because it just wasn't right. And from there, I started getting serious anxiety. Like, because, I went to a Catholic school, I was told it was supposed to be just like this, and all this other stuff was like, but we're supposed to love everybody. Why am I being taught that I'm, quote, better than, which really is twisted. So I graduated high school, went to college, took a lot of philosophy classes, world religion classes, started really resonating with me, like studying these different religions, going, oh yeah, it's the golden rule. It's like, love each other. That's what they're all about. So one better than another? Meh. So that started a real shift in me. And at that time now, late teens, early 20s. And now I start raising a family, and just moving along, realizing I don't want to be a screaming me mama. And I felt like that. I felt like, my husband was a pilot, so he was away a lot. I feel like I was a single mom raising those 3 kids. And I was like, I got to do something. So I started seeking out energy work, and I started seeing an energy healer. And over time, she'd say, Lisa, you really should take these classes. I was like, I don't want to be an energy healer. Just heal me, fix me. And, it got to that point where she was like, Lisa, please, I want you to pray on this. I want you to go home. We started the next session, and you need to be a part of it. So, okay. Interestingly enough, the first class was about escape artists. I missed the first class. I had to make it up. But the rest is history. I laid hands on, we would do session where we would learn about energy work and healing. And then the next day would be committed to laying hands. And it was just like I was home. I was home. I knew they would hand out papers. I didn't need the papers. I knew I knew what to do. And from there, in that process, like I said, we delved deep, like into scary spaces of ourselves. And I took advantage of every single session and learned a lot about who I am, and stripped away a lot of who I'm not. And again, obviously I'm in the healing community. I find that with healers that are really practicing, it's hard for them to show the vulnerability because it's hard, right? We are healers, we love, we emit, and it's hard to go, I hurt today. I'm scared today. I don't know what to do. My husband just hurt me really badly. Or, my kids using drugs. What do I do? The vulnerable side of healers. And I love to create space for that too, because we all have it. We all have it.
And again, that's that sentence, right? We all have it, right? But we are in this world of pretense, right? And particularly if you're a healer, you have to have it all together before you can start working. Yeah, right. It's like, really? No.
Yeah.
I just need to be 2 or 3 steps ahead of you, so I can shine the light of where the direction we're going. But yeah, then you add social media to that, right? It's all this beautiful pretentious, pretense world where everything's perfect and has to be perfect. And it's like, yeah.
Interesting you're saying that, because my perfectionist was ruling my life, and I had to shine a big light on that. Right. Because I made friends with her. I'm putting my arm around her right now because, man, was she driving my bus. And it was like, you know what? We need to work together, because I can't always do that. Allow space for me too, because I F up and I need, and it's okay to go out with a wrinkled shirt.
Yeah. And it's so powerful, right? It's really so powerful to play with that.
Yeah.
Right? To play with, what if I go out without makeup today?
Yeah.
While if I go out like, in my PJ pants today, my children are horrified. And I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I can do that. I don't care.
Yeah.
But it is that, like, having to break that pattern, right? It's like, it's really like the first few times, it's like the world is going to end, right? The abyss is going to open,
Realize,
it's going to fall.
didn't end. Right. Exactly. And as I think I said to you guys earlier, that, it's an exposition, if you will, or vulnerability to show yourself like that.
Yeah.
in that.
But honestly, when you're most vulnerable is when you make a bigger difference for other people. I find for myself as a massage therapist, when clients come in and they're like, "How are you doing?" If I could actually say, "I'm actually a little burnt out today," they're like, "Oh my God, you too? I'm feeling it too." And I'm like, "Yeah, I think there's something in the universe right now. I think everyone's a little dragon today." They relate so much better to that than me just being like, "Yeah, I'm great," and trying to just fake it, right? Like they get you faking it. They get,
Yeah.
but you create more space for them to be authentic when you're authentic. And so
Yeah.
way better conversations come out of that stuff than
And
anything else.
you know, and it's overall, it's along the whole spectrum, right? When you as like when I as a parent can say, you know, I just did not like my child today. Other parents are like, oh my God, thank you, right? And but it's like, no, you have to love your child. If you're a parent, you have to love your child. If you're, you know, there's all these, you know, stereotypes that we just are so.
That we don't give ourselves the space or um the ability, you know, right? Or just to like say, yeah, my kid's driving me crazy today. I
Yeah,
don't like them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like them right now. I love them, but I don't like them right
Don't
now.
like. Exactly.
And I would tell my children that. You know,
Yeah.
I would tell them, I I love you, but I don't like you right now. I
Yeah.
really don't, right?
And they're like, whoa, but it's like, hey, you know what? You need to learn because the way you're acting right now ain't cutting it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
and sometimes it doesn't have to do anything with them. It just has to do with my
that's true. Yeah.
stuff, right? So
Mm.
yeah, but what I think is fascinating in what you're sharing is that there's a lot of um stuff, I'm gonna call it, for the lack of a better word, that showed up as a young child, right? You like the memory in the church, that like that singing in front of the mirror, the, you know, like this one as well, right? It's like, well, but how could this be, right? And and I think it's fascinating because it is like as children, we have not forgotten yet, right? We have not forgotten. And keeping that spirit alive is so important and so precious.
It really is. Interesting you said that because I did a card reading for myself this morning and I got inner child and I just kind of chuckled because I hugged her. I just hugged her. It was like, oh, thank you. We got
Mm.
this today. We're gonna be together. We're always together, but I honor you right now.
Mhm.
And little did I realize till you just said it that yeah, she's showing up in all her glory, right? Reminding me of who I am and what's important and talking to my dad too, right? That was another me showing up saying, Dad, I don't get it. And that led me down this path of opening up to what's real. And I
Mhm.
remember like my mother, actually, I was probably 40. Now I'm an adult, right? And she says to me, you know, your father and I are so disappointed that you're not, following Christ or something like that, or following Catholicism. And when she first said it, I felt this like, ugh, to my heart. And I remember I was on the phone with her and I literally grabbed that knife or whatever it was. I pulled it out and I dropped it. And I just said, Mom, you know what? That's your stuff. I love who I am and I know who I am. And
Mhm.
God loves me and I'm good.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There's really nothing else to say, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing that is popping up, like ever since you spoke about the little girl, is like that childlike innocence, right? That we often lose in this serious world, particularly if we then become grown-ups and have children, then life becomes really serious, and we have to be, you know.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah.
remembering her and bringing her back
Yeah.
or keeping her alive
Mm.
is because the curiosity lives there, the innocence lives there. There's so much beauty, so much beauty. So thank you for sharing her with us.
Yeah. She's smiling. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I often, like I used to be so afraid to sing in public, and I've been told I have a beautiful voice, but I just couldn't do it. Probably, as we said, somebody said something to me along the way and shut me down. But at some point, honestly, just within the last couple of years, I was like, screw it. I love to sing and I'm gonna freaking sing. And I sing and I dance and I skip in the parking lot when I'm going from my car to the grocery store. And I'm like, this is who I am, people.
Yes.
And I love it. Yeah.
Love this. So, Lisa, what's your superpower?
My superpower. What's my superpower? I think I feel I know everything I've just shared with you. Being real, just being honest, loving, laughing, helping people, loving people, recognizing my own vulnerabilities and recognizing it in others and helping lift each other up.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'd also say tuning into your intuition. I'd say that's your intuition that's been speaking since you were a little kid, and you've been really, you've created the space for you to constantly listen to it. Like that's a practice in and of itself to trust your intuition and listen. And I think that's something you've always made a practice of. And I think that's really cool.
Something else I feel is really important that I forgot to share. When my youngest, actually before he was even born, we had 2 children, and my youngest started talking to me before he was brought into this world. I knew I had to have a 3rd child. And he's powerful. When he was 2, he was saying things that no 2-year-old had any business knowing or saying. He was so powerful in his words and how he healed people and helped me that then I believe is when that shift really occurred in me. That I thought, oh, there's so much more here. We were at a picnic. Now he was probably 3 or 4. We were at a picnic, and a woman had just lost her husband, Paul, probably 2 weeks before. She was grieving. And and I saw little Kyle, this little talking to this woman, and she came over to my sister and said, "Who is this little boy?" She goes, "He just channeled Paul. He said things that Paul would say to me, and he told me everything's going to be all right." I was like, I mean, and he would do things like that. That it's like, whoa. And he still does. He's now 32. And sometimes when I just can't see the forest for the trees, I'm like, Kyle, I need you. And he becomes this, like, honestly, his face changes. He becomes this wise sage, and he just like says what I need to hear. And I feel blessed when you talk about intuition. He's been so incredibly successful in what he's doing because he's an intuitive, and he really clicks into the people that he works with. And um and I'm just so grateful that he's in my life.
Beautiful. And you held the space for him to become that,
I did.
right? Because we all grew up quite intuitive, and then we were told that's not true, or we got, ridiculed, or, whatever version of that, right? Put down, whatever version of that you want to, and you held the space for him.
I did,
You
despite the
believed.
fact that he did experience all that. And I can remember him coming home when he was in grade school and saying, "Mom, I know a lot more than everybody." He said, "But I can't because they think I'm weird." He goes, "So
Yeah, no, but that's different, right? He knew home was safe,
absolutely,
right?
because
So
that
that's
I
that,
can
like,
talk to you." You're right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Mhm.
So beautiful, beautiful. So tell us about the time you took a chance for love, and that doesn't have to be necessarily romantic love. When did you take a chance for love?
Hmm. Taking a chance. I don't, that's not, I'll say it, it's not resonating with me to take a chance because I feel like I was blessed to have it. Like when I fell for somebody, I was blessed to have them fall for me. It was like this thing, this dance, this beautiful feeling. And I've shared that I'm divorced, so at some point I realized that it wasn't flowing anymore. I felt like I was giving and I wasn't getting it back, and that was very hard for me. I had to let that go. That was very difficult, but I know that's opposite of taking a chance on love. No,
Actually,
that's
that could
not.
very well be your
That
chance
is
for love.
chance
That could be
for love
self-love.
for me.
Yes.
And I just was reading my journal as I was still putting things away back into my condo, and I picked it up yesterday, and I was reading a journal piece with my therapist that yes, I found myself. I found my self-love. So that's where I took the chance on love and letting that go and going, oh, I'm worthy. Because when she asked me, the therapist, when you think about Nick, how do you feel? And I said, I feel less than. Yeah, I said it without even like no thought in my head. It just came out of my mouth. And I was like, she was shocked. I was shocked that it came out so quickly. But it was like, wow, okay, here we go. And from there, I found me and I love me. All of it. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Yeah.
So good and yummy.
Yeah. Baby arms. I don't always love those. All right, let's be real here.
Oh my. So Lisa, what do you do to fill up your tank and recharge your batteries? What fills you up? And
stuff like this, right? I really just, I have a beautiful tribe. I have a beautiful, my family, the unconditional love that we have, my sisters, just the cry fests we've had over the past 2 weeks, being present, watching my brother pass in his own home, just having that support and that love, and my nieces and people, and knowing that if I need energy work, I know I can go to any number of friends to say, hey, help. You know, whether it be long distance or right here, smack dab in front of me, do it, help me, you know, and they'll know, and we know, and I know. And it's funny, you said that 3 people in the past day told me I need to take an Epsom salt bath. So I apparently need to get in that bathtub. So yeah, so just hearing and listening and being open to knowing what I need, right?
yeah, so good.
Yeah.
Once again, that's more trusting the intuition, right? Like, what do I need now? And then listening, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for highlighting what I'm saying and recognizing that, because I don't know if you didn't say it, I probably would have left and went, oh yeah, that's what I said. But wrapping it in that beautiful, my intuition. Yeah. And I'm listening and turn down the ego, because boy, we all know what that game.
It's so loud sometimes, isn't it?
I don't know if you guys read The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. That was life-changing for me too, insofar as that wheel of the thoughts and just going, doing it again, instead of, you know, disparaging remarks about myself or thoughts, and not breathing life into it anymore. And not going, oh shit, I did it again. Oh my God, what's wrong with me? Because then you're just in that same old ugly, what's it called? Monkey mind or whatever. It's like, nope. Okay. I'm getting off that treadmill.
Recognize. Good stuff.
I worked with someone, and she would say, how about Britney Spears song. Oops, I did it again. Just that sentence, right? Oops, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. So there's not like the heaviness, but just more like, oops. You know?
Or I would just start laughing. I would fake laugh. And then the next thing I was laughing because I was fake laughing, which was so silly
Yeah.
to fake laugh. I was like, okay, got it. Check.
Mhm.
Done. Thank you. So if you had a magic wand and you could give people any quality, what would it be and why?
Just to really step out of take off their ego suit. Take off their ego suit and just love each other. That would be the magic wand. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's the ego, it's the fear, it's the power that just keeps perpetuating the ugliness and the greed and the fear, really. So that magic wand would be waved to say, hey, poof, it's okay. You're okay. Remember what you were before you popped in. Yeah, that's what it would be.
So beautiful.
So good. So Lisa, who do you want to be when you grow up? If you could do anything, if the time and money there were no restrictions, what would you want to do?
Well, I love who I am and what I'm doing and the people in my life. One thing that I would definitely want to do more of is travel.
Mhm.
There's a whole wide world out there that's calling me.
Yay!
Greece, I've never been to Sedona, and I know I got to get there. But yeah, right. So it would be to travel.
Mm.
I'm going to be, and I have traveled. But if money was not an issue, oh, I'd be heading out. I'd be talking to you from probably Greece or maybe Sedona. I don't know, or Italy.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
All right, manifesting this.
Oh yeah.
Our next Zoom will be from some cool destination.
Oh, there you go. I love that.
So
Maybe all three of us, all of us. Anybody listening? Let's go. Let's go.
let's go.
I'm down.
Yeah, Christina says that we're going to go visit all the people that have been on the podcast. So, we're going to make a documentary about it. So, but then we were talking about having a podcast retreat somewhere. I don't know who that was with, where we all could go and be together. So who knows? Who knows, right?
Lots of possibilities.
Okay, so if you seriously think about that, include me in the planning because I love doing that stuff.
Very
You'll be the
good.
first one we call, Lisa.
Figure out where we're going to go and what we're going to do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Very good. So, what are you most proud of? What do you consider your biggest accomplishment?
My three children,
Mm.
without a doubt. The legacy continues and what they're individually doing. One is director of international affairs at a university, so he's helping students all over the world get a better education. My daughter moved here. Yay! She's an electrophysiologist, and what that means is she does ablations and pacemakers, everything to do with the heart. So she was a cardiologist and she wanted to go deeper. So she's doing that. I said, as long as you're doing something with the heart, if plastic surgeon would have been good too, but that's good. The heart will do. And then my youngest it has a lot to do with creating apps and yeah, and affecting change in a lot of different ways with a lot of different apps that he has. And one is silly, and I'm just going to tell you, it's called Cat Facts. And people that either love cats can send cat facts randomly to people that love cats, and they're just random cat facts, and you don't know where they're coming from, which is that's the funny part, right? Or people, because they don't know where they're coming from, they want to goof on a friend, and they'll start sending cat facts. You could send them every 30 minutes, every hour, and it's hysterical to see the response. Who the hell is this? I don't want these. Stop. What are you doing? And then eventually the friend will reveal themselves. But it's just fun. That's one of his little side things that he created years and years ago. So
How fun.
it is so fun. And he's getting engaged like soon, any day, out in Colorado. Yay.
Congratulations. Just more love in the world. Yay.
Yeah.
So Lisa, you mentioned you have a business. This is your time to brag and tell us about your business and let people know how they can get in touch with you or know what you're doing and all that good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm part owner of a company called International Energy Consultants. And we basically connect people that have either created products and or services to people that need those products and services. And we do it on a much grander scale. We also work with a company called Guaranteed Community Advisors. They're a fiduciary advisor company where they'll go into school systems and municipalities and find monies, whether it be incentives or grant monies or what have you, to have more sustainable products and to have safer products in their schools. So we have a product that provides clean air, clean water, products that hook up into the HVAC systems that have them run far more efficiently and therefore live a lot longer. So anybody that is interested or has connections with municipalities or school systems or businesses anywhere in the country, we provide these services and connect them to the people that they need to be connected with. But I'm also, as I said, an independent contractor, sign language interpreter for the deaf, nationally certified. And so I love doing that too.
So we'll include links of how to get in touch with Lisa for both of those things with the podcast. So if you want to reach out to Lisa, that'll all be included in the notes for the podcast. Also, we will include the links for Martina and myself if you're interested in what we're doing in the world. Lisa, thank you so much for being here with us today. Your energy is truly inspiring. I just had a blast being here with you today.
I love it.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone who's listening. If you love this, please leave us a review. Please share with your friends. And please remember, you are extraordinary and you rock. Until next time, have a wonderful day.
Bye for now. Lisa, you want to say bye?
Yeah, I do. Thank you, everyone who's listening. And I thank you, Martina and Christina, for giving me the opportunity to share a piece of me.